crouching in my loft room, having been chased out of the living room and having been chased out of my office by my kids. So here I am, sat down by the door in the loft room, about to talk to you about starting out learning hypnosis without trance. I've had the site up for about 10 hours now, maybe a little bit longer, and I'm extremely pleased with the interest that I've had. I've had a lot of people sign up. I've had a lot of people say nice things about the video, so thank you very much. And I've also started to get some questions already and started to get a sense of some of the things that are coming up in people's minds. One thing that I've had come in is that for some people this is not your first attempt at learning hypnosis, that you've had a go at that before and it hasn't quite worked out how you would like for it to have done. Which made me think that a good thing to start out with would just be one or two words about approaching learning hypnosis. I also know I've got some people who are very experienced hypnotists, and you already can do hypnosis. You already know so much, maybe even more than I do about it. I don't know. I hope that this video will be of use to you as well, because I'm going to talk about something which I think is a pretty major issue for a lot of hypnotists, and especially hypnotists who start out. Hypnotists have a tendency to put an awful lot of pressure on themselves to succeed with each and every subject that they work with. So classically, I know a lot of hypnotists who put a lot of pressure on themselves because they're worried about whether their subject will go into trance or not. Of course, we can put that all to one side because we're not dealing with trance. We're not interested in trance at the moment. We're doing hypnosis without trance. So whether or not they're in trance can disappear out. But we do want to get a result. We are going for a certain effect, because you know you're getting good hypnosis when you're getting the result that you want to get, the thing that you're aiming for, that modification in the subject's subjective reality. And there may be a tendency when you start out to think that if you don't get that to happen, you've failed. And that simply isn't true. The only time you failed is if you didn't step up and do it in the first place. If you've stepped up, you've sat down with somebody or stood up with somebody, or however you want to do it, and started to do some hypnosis with them, then you have succeeded. Whether you get the result that you want straight off the bat isn't important. The success, the initial success, is stepping up and doing that. Please realise that. Please feel good in yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be nice to yourself for having stepped up and done something. Because here's the truth. When you start out doing this, hypnosis is going to be a numbers game for you. You're going to get a lot of people that you just don't get the results you want with, and you're going to get some great results as well. Now, if you intend to proceed by hypnotising one person a week, then you don't have to get a lot of misses to be just wiping out all of your successes, if that makes sense. So if I do one person a week and I get one failure a week, then that's a pretty big deal, because I'm just getting a 100% failure rate. If I hypnotise 2 people a week and get one failure, well, I've got a 50% success rate all of a sudden. So that makes a real big difference. Now, if I'm hypnotising 10 people a week and getting 5 not working and 5 working out pretty nicely, I've still got 50%. But you know, you can forget about the stuff that hasn't worked out, other than to learn from it, and just take your successes and feel good about those. And it may or may not work out like that to begin with. I just got to say, I was talking to somebody the other day, a guy I know, a real nice guy who's a very good hypnotist, even though he's been doing it for only a short time. Now, this guy got real success with his first attempt at hypnosis. So he was out there doing stuff, and he got all kinds of things going on, including he succeeded in making himself invisible to the subject, which is a pretty big deal. A lot of hypnotists, first time they do that, that's a real rush for them and everything. And this guy did this on his first outing, and then went on to do loads of hypnosis over the next few weeks, and just keep getting success after success after success. And then he missed. He had something not work out so well, and then the next subject didn't work out, so he had about 3-4 misses in a row, and that really kind of kicked his confidence out in a lot of ways. Now, that isn't the experience for most people. Most people experience it the other way around. But remember, whatever happens for you, if you succeed on your first attempt to get exactly what you want happening, you're going to feel good, and rightly so. Good for you. You know, you've succeeded, you've hit. But be aware, you will have failures. You will have things that don't work out, and that is a good thing. I want to be clear about that. That's a good thing. You need that. You need failures. There's an old saying that says, calm seas don't make good sailors. You've got to have failures. You've got to make mistakes. This is a massive thing. If you're an NLP person, you already know, right, that there's no failure, only feedback. When I first learned that, when I did my NLP practitioner training, I thought, oh, that's great, that's wonderful. And I still stay clear of practicing, because if things didn't work out, I still got that bad feeling, you know. Intellectually, I knew there's no failure, only feedback, but inside I felt bad. I did some training with John Grinder, and for me, that put the light bulb on. I remember him saying, the most undervalued of human faculties is the ability to make mistakes. The ability to make mistakes. Because it's only when you're making mistakes that you move past your current patterning, your current limitations. It's only that you're reaching the boundaries. That mistake means you've reached the boundaries of what you were capable of before. You're pushing into new area. So I think that's worth bearing in mind. Mistakes are good, you know. If you can tap into that part of yourself that knows when you're making mistakes, you're really learning, because you can't learn without making mistakes, then you can learn how to feel good about that. So that's what I want to say, because to start with, you see, this is going to be a numbers game for you. You're going to go out, you're going to get hits, you're going to get misses. The more you do, the more hits you'll get, and the more you'll up your ratio over time. So think quantity over quality to begin with. Seriously, that's an important thing. Quantity over quality. If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, you'll know about that 10,000 hours. I don't know if I've already mentioned that on this video, because I've done this video so many times now. But you want to get out there, you want to put the hours in. That's all I'm going to say about that. Know you're going to make mistakes, feel good about it, embrace it, create opportunities to make mistakes, because you will learn.